Good evening, here are tonight's top stories. Government intensifies efforts to eliminate child labor. 3 charged with armed robbery in Providence. Body of Burbus man found in canal near his home. Regional administration acts against overcharging speedboat operators on Parikasapinam route. Police continue investigation into fatal hit-and-run of sand truck driver. Single mother loses home in devastating East Kanj fire. Former table tennis player faces multiple charges, remanded. Nabataningi Gabin charged and remanded. Stay tuned for the details of these stories. Please remember to like, share and subscribe to our channel for more news. Transcript.
3 charged with armed robbery in Providence. 3 men have been jointly charged with armed robbery following their arrest on June 9, 2024. The accused are Brian Stevens, 22, a laborer from Haslington, East Coast Demerara, Claudius James, 20, a security officer from South Ruimveldt squatting area, Georgetown, and Ronaldo Alacock, 21, a laborer from Providence, East Bank Demerara. The charges stem from an incident on June 3, 2024, where the trio allegedly committed an armed robbery on a 28-year-old Chinese businessman at YIJIA's supermarket in Providence, East Bank Demerara. The arrests were made by the Providence Police Station Criminal Investigation Department. The accused appeared before Magistrate Judy Latchman at the Diamond Magistrates Court on Tuesday. They pleaded not guilty to the charges. Bail was denied, and all 3 men were remanded to prison. The case has been adjourned to June 26, 2024. Single mother loses home in devastating East Kanj fire. Diane Gabin, a single mother of 3, is seeking public assistance after a fire of unknown origin destroyed her home on Sunday. The incident has left Gabin and her children, aged 3, 5, and 7, without shelter. In an interview with Kaider News, a distressed Gabin recounted that the fire occurred between 8:15 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. at their Betsy Ground residence. The fire broke out shortly after she dropped off her children at Sunday school. Gabin explained her routine: every Sunday, I take my children to Sunday school. I bathed them and sent them off, but they didn't go right away. After dropping them off, she headed to a mechanic to repair her electric bike. Her plans were abruptly interrupted by a phone call informing her that her 2-bedroom wooden house was on fire. Rushing back home, she found her house engulfed in flames. Despite the efforts of the Guyana Fire Service, the house could not be saved. Gabin, who has lived at the location for about 6 years, estimates her losses at approximately $6 million. Every time I think about it, the fire, I cry, I can't get over it, she said, expressing her deep distress over the incident. Now homeless and with her children to care for, Gabin is appealing to the public for assistance. Those willing to help can contact her at 643-5756. Body of Burbus man found in canal near his home. The body of 65-year-old Ralph Appia of Lot 97, Public Road, Palmyra, Burbus, was discovered on Tuesday morning in a canal close to his residence. According to police reports, Appia, a known alcoholic, would often wander while under the influence. Passers-by would frequently inform his wife or other relatives when they saw him walking along the roadway. At approximately 8:20 a.m. Appia's body was seen floating in a canal approximately 25 feet deep and located about 300 feet from his home. His wife, Pulmati Appia, recounted that she left her husband sleeping at home on Monday evening when she went to a wake in the community. Despite suffering from a terminal illness, he had reportedly been seen on the road later that evening, claiming he was going to a shop. As she was returning home, Pulmati saw him heading toward the house, but he never arrived. The following morning, his body was found in the canal. Ralph Appia leaves behind his wife and 3 children. The couple had been married for 45 years. Are you looking for a job? We are hiring currently for hairdressers and nail technicians. Give us a call at 626-6450. You can also WhatsApp us to schedule an interview. The closing date for applying is the 17th of June, 2024. We look forward to hearing from you. Government intensifies efforts to eliminate child labor. While Guyana's legislation against child labor is deemed adequate, the practice persists, prompting the government to intensify efforts to eradicate it. Employers are being warned against hiring children, emphasizing that child labor is distinct from household chores. Child labor should not be confused at all with chores. It is important for people who have business entities, people who have promotional ventures, to know that they should not be employing children, stated Dr. Vindhya Prasad, Minister of Human Services and Social Security. On Wednesday, Dr. Prasad led a team, including key agencies and school children, on a walk from the Parliament building to the Ministry of Labour office on Brickdam, marking World Day Against Child Labour. Observed annually on June 12, this year's theme is Let's Act on Our Commitments, End Child Labor. Dr. Prasad highlighted Guyana's legislative efforts to combat child labor, emphasizing the need for recognition and action at every level to address the issue comprehensively. She also called for a robust reporting system to identify and address instances of child labor effectively. Guyana has ratified key International Labour Organization (ILO) conventions against child labor and developed a national plan of action aimed at eradicating child labor by 2025, in alignment with ILO and UNICEF goals. Chief Labour Officer Dhaneshwar Dionarine reiterated the Ministry of Labour's commitment to implementing the National Action Plan to eliminate child labor by 2025. Child labor is a crime. The development and implementation of the national policy towards the elimination of child labor, addressing its harmful consequences and limited effects on national development, and the National Action Plan for Elimination of Child Labor are clear indications of the ministry's commitment to end child labor, Dionarine stated. He also stressed the importance of nurturing and educating children to ensure their development into influential adults. The abolition of child labor and providing opportunities for education is essential for the development of the country. Throughout June, the Ministry of Labour will host a series of activities, including school visits, to raise awareness about the issues and effects of child labor on children. Former table tennis player faces multiple charges remanded. Former table tennis player Adinho Lewis, 37, has been charged with multiple offenses after being found with an illegal AK-47 rifle, a Glock pistol, ammunition, and drugs, including cocaine and marijuana. The bust occurred on June 8 at his De Silva Street apartment in Kitty, Georgetown. Lewis appeared before Acting Chief Magistrate Sherdell Isaacs Marcus at the Georgetown Magistrates Court, facing 5 charges: illegal possession of a firearm, illegal possession of ammunition, and illegal possession of narcotics for the purpose of trafficking. The charges detailed that on June 8, Lewis was found with 544.5 grams of cannabis and 107 grams of cocaine, both intended for trafficking. Additionally, he was in possession of firearm components, including AR-15 magazines, an AK-47 magazine, and 3 Glock magazines, without a firearm license. Police also discovered an AK-47 rifle, a Glock 26 pistol, and various rounds of ammunition, including 830 rounds of 7.62 for live .223 rounds, 9 live 9mm rounds, and 2 live .32 rounds. Upon his arrest, Lewis claimed he lived alone at the apartment but was not the owner of the firearms. His lawyer, Bernard De Silva, argued in court that Lewis actually resides with his mother at 25 Shopping Plaza, North Ruimveldt, Georgetown, and rents the De Silva Street apartment to friends and foreigners. According to De Silva, Lewis had not been to the apartment in 2 weeks and was there on the day of the raid to conduct an inspection. De Silva further stated that the apartment was occupied by one of Lewis's friends and another tenant, who were supposed to vacate the property on the day the police conducted the search. He argued that the charges against Lewis were merely allegations under the circumstances and requested bail, asserting that Lewis was prepared to provide necessary legal documentation. The prosecution objected to bail due to the severity of the offenses and the penalties they carry. Additionally, the prosecutor revealed that Lewis had been under police surveillance for some time. After considering the arguments from both sides, the acting chief magistrate denied bail for Lewis and adjourned the case until July 12, 2024. Regional administration acts against overcharging speedboat operators on Pori-Kasupinam route. A significant number of speedboat operators on the Pori-Kasupinam route continue to overcharge passengers, despite clear pricing guidelines established by the Maritime Administration Department, MARAD. In response, the Regional Administration of Region 2, Pomarun-Supinam, is re-engaging central government, particularly the Ministry of Public Works, to enforce compliance and impose penalties for defiance. Regional Chairperson Vilma de Silva revealed that regional officials convened on Tuesday to address the ongoing exploitation of passengers by speedboat operators. "I'm very much dissatisfied," de Silva stated. Senior ministers have explicitly told operators they cannot increase fares without government approval. The government has reduced all fuel taxes to relieve passengers of high travel costs. In April, Minister of Public Works Juan Edghill met with speedboat operators on various routes, including Porica-Supinam. Edghill clarified that the authorized fare is $2,500 for travel between Bartica and Porica and $1,300 between Porica and Supinam. However, operators on the Porica-Supinam route persist in charging $1,500. "They showed a total disregard for the minister's intervention," de Silva said. Apart from charging the extra $200, they also charge passengers for additional luggage. "I witnessed an operator charging $1,500 for a carry-on hand luggage." De Silva also highlighted safety concerns, noting that many operators overload their boats, wear untidy life jackets, and operate boats with leaking hulls and broken-down engines, leaving passengers stranded mid-river. "If owners and operators don't want to comply, then they will not be allowed to operate," she asserted. "They are putting lives at risk. Either they comply or quit the service." During the April meeting, it was announced that impromptu inspections would be conducted on all boats to ensure they are safe and river-worthy. Operators lacking up-to-date certification will be prohibited from operating until they rectify their status. Additionally, operators were instructed to revive their association to ensure compliance and order within the industry. Random testing of boat operators for alcohol and drug consumption will also be implemented, with licenses terminated for those who test positive. The regional administration remains committed to addressing these issues and ensuring that speedboat operators adhere to regulations for the safety and fair treatment of passengers. Police continue investigation into fatal hit-and-run of sand truck driver. 8 months after 25-year-old Adsel Innes, a sand truck driver from Burma Mahayakoni, East Coast Demerara, ECD, was struck and killed in a hit-and-run incident allegedly involving an overseas-based Guyanese, the police are diligently pursuing leads both locally and internationally to resolve the case. District Commander Senior Superintendent Kali Pershram confirmed that the investigation remains active. He stated that the file had been sent to the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, who returned it with instructions for further investigation. Based on advice from the DPP, there are additional points to clear up, both locally and overseas. "We will resubmit the file for further advice," Pershram said. The file is expected to be returned to the DPP upon the conclusion of the investigation. Adsel Innes tragically lost his life on September 22, 2023. He had stopped his motor lorry, registered GAC 1443, near Chico Rama's gas station on Coldingen Public Road, ECD. As he disembarked, he reportedly stepped into the path of a black Toyota Fielder wagon and collapsed onto the road. The driver fled the scene, and initially, both the vehicle's registration and the driver's identity were unknown. Innes was rushed to the Georgetown Public Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. His sister, Tonica Innes, last saw him alive a day before the accident. The family learned of the accident when an eyewitness answered Innes's phone and provided details. Days after the incident, police located a vehicle believed to be involved in the hit-and-run. Acting on a tip, officers from the Vigilance Police Station discovered motorcar pad 9709 in Victoria, ECD, with significant front left damage. The vehicle was transported to the Cove and John Police Station for further investigation. Tamika Wilson, Innes's mother, received a call about the suspect vehicle's location and alerted the police, leading to the car's discovery and the owner's detention. During a visit to the police station, Wilson encountered the car's owner and the alleged driver's family, learning the driver's name, Rayon Rodney. Rodney reportedly came to Guyana for his grandmother's funeral and borrowed the car from his cousin. The cousin claimed Rodney left the country the night of the accident. The man's family in Guyana has been cooperating with the police since. The police continue to work on the investigation, following up on leads and ensuring all aspects are thoroughly examined. The authorities aim to bring justice to Adsel Innes and his family by holding those responsible accountable. The case remains open, and updates will be provided as new information becomes available. Nabadaningi Gobin charged and remanded. Nabadaningi Gobin, a 40-year-old laborer from Lot 161, Charlotte Street, Georgetown, was arrested on April 7, 2024, and charged on June 11, 2024, for the offense of possession of narcotics for the purpose of trafficking. This charge is in accordance with Section 5(1)(a)(I) of the Narcotics, Drug and Psychotropic Substance Control Act Chapter 1010. Gobin was found in possession of 2,050 grams of marijuana at Peters Hall, East Bank Demerara. Gobin appeared before Principal Magistrate Judy Latchman at the Golden Grove Magistrates Court on June 11, where the charge was formally read to him. He pleaded not guilty to the charge and was subsequently remanded to prison. The case has been adjourned to July 2, 2024.